All right, welcome to the third edition of Mets Therapy 2018. We did not think we would be having two therapy sessions back-to-back this quickly, but that is what the New York Mets are. That's what this life is. When you are a crazy person, you go see your therapist all the fucking time. And so when you are a Mets fan, you live a crazy life. The ups and the downs are constant. The news is good and bad and hitting left, right. It's like being in the ocean. Being a Mets fan is a war of attrition when you're in the ocean during rough waves when like a hurricane is coming up the coast and you're just getting battered left and right. And all you want is just like a moment of peace in between a couple waves, a couple rounds of waves where maybe you can enjoy yourself in the water. That's all I want to do. I just want a little bit of peace, and they won't fucking give it to me, Clem.
I don't even know right now, man. It's like
yeah. You don't know what to do because you've been such a fucking dick this whole season. Why are you negative? Why are you pessimistic? We're fine. We're in first place. Well, you fucking blink your eye in between this session and last session. We're now out of first place, and we had the scare of a lifetime with Jacob Degrom. The MRI results are back, negative. Now, of course, in classic Mets fashion, this whole injury was ridiculous. First of all, of course, it happens at the plate. Of course, because pitchers hitting, like, for a split second, I actually became pro DH because I was like, God damn it, Jacob Degrom injures himself swinging the bat. Hyperextended elbow, goes to the locker room. We don't hear anything overnight. Nada.
No, he pitched after he hurt his elbow, which is so Mets.
So Mets. So all of a sudden, Gary's just like, well, Jacob Degrom's going to the locker room. I'm like, what the fuck? I got Steve Gelbs up in the upper deck doing some dumb report on fans. I'm like, get goddamn in the locker room right now. Figure out what's going on, Steve Gelbs. And then we're waiting for the MRI results. And then right as it's about to break, Roto World and Bleacher Report tells me that he's out for a month, 4 starts or something like that. And then, boom, the blink of an eye, they put out a press release saying he's fine. No structural damage. Results are negative. He'll make his next start. The ups, the downs, the back and forth. To be honest, I'm happy, but I almost feel like he should skip a start. Like, I don't think we need to rush this. But thank God, because that was the one dude. I texted Clem, and he agreed with me. I said, if Jake goes down for an extended period of time, it's cancel. It's over.
Yeah, like 3 months that was the thing. Like, I was going to, and okay. As soon as that news came out, and we were happened to be talking on text as soon, like, when he got hurt, and you're like, yo, Degrom. And then it's just like, shit, it's his elbow. Fuck, Gary just. But the thing is, like, none of us knew what a hyperextended elbow even meant. I was like, does that mean it's definitely, like, completely tattered in there? No one really had any idea.
Well, and I think I heard two comparisons. I can't remember the names now, but they were pretty high-profile players. One, like, missed a month, and the other needed, like, Tommy John afterwards. So, like, it was one of those, it could be all or nothing right now. It was very similar to when Cespedes got hit on the hand late in 2015, where it was like, everyone hold your breath, hold on to your butts for the next, like, 10 hours while we go overnight waiting for the results. So here's the thing, Clem. The baby Braves are motherfuckers, and they are now in first place.
Yep.
Yo is fine. Degrom is fine, which those, I will give you, feel like different Mets seasons, because just last year when it was like, well, Noah's out and Yo's out, it's like, yeah, we lost the 2 guys we can't lose. So, yes, things are a little different there. But
and Conforto came back early. Give me that one, too. Yep. I'm taking all this.
You get them all. You get them all. That's fine. But here's the thing, pal. We're like 2-8 or 3-7 in our last 10. And this team can't hit, bro. And, like, I'm not counseling until there's, like, a killer injury. But I'm just saying, if you play this out over 162, I think when, as we always say here at Barstool and Water finds its level, it's just not very inspiring. Like, the way Degrom went down last night was horrible. But then the way the rest of that Braves game unfolded was just as ugly, where it was like, fuck, this is a young, nasty, ugly Braves team that's going to be a pest coming up, whipping our asses. And here we are, like, hoping that Adrian Gonzalez and Asdrubal Cabrera carry us to the promised land.
Stop with the ass man in there. Like, you can go ahead and Adrian Gonzalez say what. I'm done with this ass man slander. Yeah, man, this is it. All right, as soon as that went down, I said optimistic Clem may die on the spot. And I thought there was a chance that was going to happen. But this injury, I don't want to say it was good. It definitely wasn't good. But last night happened for a reason. And it's so then people like me who are optimistic can come down to where we should be. But assholes like you need to come up now and say, when we lose a game in April because the bullpen blows a 2-run lead or even a 6-run lead. It's not fucking over. It's over when we lose a horse, a fucking stud.
A horse.
That's when you can
horse.
A horse.
The most
A
beautiful horse I've ever seen.
I've ever seen. I actually met Secretary. That fucker being back. Did we talk about that on the therapy session?
No.
Francesa coming back. Literally, he retires. The Mets get off to the best start in team history, tie it. He comes back Tuesday. They potentially lose DeGrom for the season on Wednesday
And the
night.
Yankees haven't lost. The Yankees have not lost since. I don't think they've even trailed since Francesa's come back. So that motherfucker.
Your brother tweeted out that picture. It was like the alerts, the 2 alerts he got back to back. DeGrom leaves game, Stanton hits home run, and it was like
brutal.
The water has found its level again. In your face.
Yep. I mean, that's all I'm saying. And you're right. Like, I'll come up a little bit in saying usually it would be Kunzel right now, and it's not. But this is more about you sons of bitches coming back down to me. Because, why are you so pessimistic? Why won't you just enjoy the ride? Why are you always so anxious? Because this shit is always looming, man. Like, the fact that we even have to go through an injury scare, just an injury scare with Jacob Degrom, is so Mets. Because he's the one thing you can't lose now. He's the most underrated pitcher to, ever walk the fucking face of the earth. The only thing we can truly count on. You really can't even pencil in you really can't even pencil in Noah for,
no.
I mean, he's the only thing we got that's seriously, seriously consistent. And, who knows? And listen, we're not out of the woods with him yet either. This is still the Mets. There's no Ray Ramirez. But this is still the Mets where, remember when they were pitching Noah when he came back when there was nothing to pitch for? It's like we do not really need Jacob Degrom to make this next start. I could see his elbow fucking exploding on the spot, Victor Zambrano style, and he runs off the field and we never see him again. So, let's just relax. But I'm happy to hear you fucking idiots all up there in La La Land are coming back down to earth.
Hey, this is the one thing about us idiots. We're still fucking Mets fans. I know I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's just I can keep a brave face on when we're fucking healthy and 17 and 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Clem, you
But
realize all right. What happens by the end of the week when we're 19 and 18?
19 and 18?
Yeah, what happens when we're 500 by the middle of next week? Whatever.
Perfect, man. 19-18. The Red Sox were 19-18, and they fucking turned it around, too. There's a couple...
Asshole. You're such an asshole. You know my point. You get my point. Right now, what you guys are all resting your hat on, you're hanging your hat on, is this hot start, and that at the end of the first month, we were 17 and 9 and had the second best record in the National League. Well, when it's only May, all it takes is a 5-game losing streak, and all of a sudden you go from the second best record to the fucking bottom of the barrel. It's not I understand we're not the Cincinnati Reds trotting shit out there every day 7 and 23 or whatever, but I'm just saying. I get nervous for you optimistic guys because here I am. I'm always down here. Always. I never get up. I never get down. I just stay pretty much at the bottom all the time because I know, give it 10 days from now, we're going to pretty much be a 500 team where we should have been, where we will be. And you guys are going to become crashing down from the mountaintops, and I'm afraid for you, Clem. I'm afraid for you. You're a father of 2. You got a newborn baby. I can't have you crashing mentally and emotionally because you stupidly got yourself up after a hot month.
I'm gonna be crashing mentally and emotionally because of that child. So the Mets is just gonna be that's gonna be dessert for whatever's going on in my brain right now. The Monday just looms large in my mind too because I am not ready for Degrom. I'd want him to give him like you said, the Thor stuff. Even when they had Thor come back and he pitched,
that was
ridiculous.
Why is he pitching? That was
just
the dumbest thing the Mets ever did.
Week off.
Yes,
it's so stupid, and we know this cycle. It happens every time. This is the Ray Ramirez special.
Mm-hmm.
Player rest, he's fine. We end up playing shorthanded for fucking we play with 24 players for a week and a half.
Yep.
Then he goes on the 10-day deal. We go, why didn't we have an extra player that time that would have helped us win a couple games? Then he goes on then he's on the DL for 2 months. Then he goes to the 60-player DL, and then he comes back by September. So it's
and then they make him play when he shouldn't, and they risk a career-ending injury. Yeah, no, it was the exact timeline day to day to a T. My favorite is the day to day. Reyes and Beltran back in the day were day to day for 180 straight days. It was this is just they're hurt. They're not day to day. Just put them on the DL. We're not out of the woods. And the problem is, it's right now, we basically the injury gods have given the Mets a cookie here, and we're sitting here eating our Jacob Degrom cookie. Jacob Degrom is not injured cookie, and just ignoring the fact that there's some other problems with this team, man. It's not like everything was gravy, and now we got Jake, and we're still good with him, and we're gonna go pedal to the metal. It's okay, it's not a full blown fucking nightmare, but we still have some glaring issues to fix that I think people are not acknowledging, all because of like an 11-game winning streak or whatever it was to start the season.
No, we definitely have some stuff to fix. Like again, the offense isn't hitting. The pitchers who aren't fucking Jacob Degrom basically are not pitching as well as they should, and fucking Jose Reyes just needs to get the fuck out. Like,
I mean, honestly,
at this point, Sandy needs to save Mickey from himself because Mickey's using him because he's like, well, the numbers say to do this or whatever. Jose Reyes can't be getting any big at bats anymore.
No, that guy needs to be out of baseball. He's not a major league player anymore. He's done. It's a wrap for him. He's got his off the field issues. On the field, he's a disaster. He went from fan favorite to like most hated.
Eric Campbell.
Yeah. So just like get lost, dude. I'm happy you brought up Sandy because when we last talked, Matt Harvey was getting himself into a little bit of a situation. But when we wrapped up therapy session number 2, like right after we were done, all the quotes came out. Sandy Alderson basically, if I read it correctly, was saying like, that doesn't surprise me at all. Like, I only get mad at things that really like come to me unexpected. So I'm not mad at this. Basically, read between the lines. It was totally expected. This doesn't surprise me. Matt Harvey's an asshole, and it's just another day in the life with Matt Harvey. And I don't know. I mean, Mets fans, they were mad at me when I called Matt Harvey a bust, and they defend him to the death, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. I know he gave us like his all. He pitched 200+ innings after that Tommy John. I know he wanted that game in the World Series so bad. And at the end of the day, his injuries derailed him. But like the guy's always been an asshole. And at the end of the day, he puts himself first. And whether or not that's not the reason his career failed. Like, it was mostly injury. But he is an asshole. So I just don't give him, like, the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to ride for him and defend him when he does these dumbass things. Was he sober? I don't think so. I feel like when you're out and you're Matt Harvey, you probably have a few drinks. I'm not saying he was blackout drunk like the New York Post was trying to insinuate. I don't even know if that was necessarily why they lost the game the next day. The whole team played like shit. My point is, when you are embroiled in controversy and you've already blown off reporters and cursed them out, to then be shot at the club and seen at the bar, you're a fucking asshole. And so it was Sandy's comments, and then an anonymous Met said something to the effect of, it's just like, what are you doing, man? So to me, that sounds like the front office is fed up. Sounds like the players are fed up. Mickey Callaway is probably still trying to ride for him because he's not fed up yet. He's new to the Matt Harvey, circus. But I think everybody else is pretty much like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I feel like all players go out though. Like,
yes, they do. But Matt Harvey is different because he's an asshole and he always has been. He puts a bullseye on his back.
But is he not allowed to go out anymore? This was my problem with the report. I didn't blog the report because I was like, he's in the bullpen now. If it was a start, I'd say, all right, it was a start. You can't go out before a start, right?
But
wasn't it before?
You can't. I think even more so. You can't go out when you're in the bullpen because you might have to pitch every fucking night.
But that's the thing, though. So are we saying no bullpen guys ever go out? Like, I feel like everyone goes out in baseball. I have no idea.
I mean, you're probably right on some level. My thing is, like, the reason why he was out was because he was pouting. He was mad. It was right after the page 6. It was right after the reports about how he blew off the media and was cursing them out and didn't want to talk. So he was probably like, fuck you, I'm going to go out. It's like, if it was Curtis Granderson out at a bar a couple years ago, I'd be like, Grandy is, seeing some friends while he's on the road. And
that's unfair. He's a saint.
But that's what I mean. There are guys in the league who are professionals who you trust. Yeah. And you can have a life outside of baseball. Matt Harvey, who's had a reputation of like missing meetings and potentially being hungover and showing up overweight and like all these dumb things, maybe they contribute, maybe they don't, maybe it's fair, maybe it's not. It's just one of those where there's smoke, there's fire, and he continues to fucking put fuel on the fire.
Matt Harvey was the girl that I liked that I don't really think she liked me, but she let me touch her boobs. Like that's who Matt Harvey was. He never liked us. He always wanted to go to the fucking rich guy across town.
Yep.
And he was just waiting and biding his time. But you know what? Like, some good sex. It was some good
It was some
sex
great sex. There was breakup sex, there was makeup sex, and there was nothing better than the highs. There was nothing worse than the lows. And yeah, he was always biding his time, and him and his buddy Boris were always planning on a $150, $200 million contract, preferably in pinstripes. But you know what? That hot chick who used to walk in the bar and everyone fucking started drooling and their dicks were hard, well, guess what? She put on some weight, and she got a little bit ugly, and all of a sudden time passed her by a little bit.
And a UTI.
And literally has a UTI. And now, $200 million, I think the whole fucking world laughs at you. I think, looking back, it's that hot girl. When you're the hot girl in high school, all of a sudden you learn about the world of college and Instagram models, and all of a sudden you look back on her, she wasn't that hot to begin with. I mean, it's sad how it unfolded, how it all played out, but that's how it played out. And so guess what, man? You don't get to be in the bar, in the club, just being like, what's the big deal? No, it's a big deal because you've lived your life and you've played your career accordingly. You've made your bed. Now it's time to sleep in it.
Yep. No, I can't argue with that. He drives you nuts. The sick part about this, I want to see what Boris does now. Like, this is his greatest fucking test, is to get him a contract.
Honestly,
a good contract.
Like, Boris is, in my mind, has always been like the Phil Jackson of agents, where it's like, yeah, he gets $400 million for Bryce Harper. I could be his agent. You know what I mean? Like, what do you really do? Well, show me something now. You get Matt Harvey like a serious contract with some serious money, then you are a wonder agent. I mean, what is Matt Harvey going to be worth? As a starter, he had a 6 ERA. Now he's just a reliever. He's known as like a malcontent. I mean, what could you really get for him? Or what could I mean, like, and listen, there's every chance, because this, again, meet the Mets, that his second act, he's not that old by any means, with another team, he finally, like, sometimes a change of scenery and truly hitting rock bottom changes your whole perspective, and all of a sudden you get back in shape and you get on the straight and narrow and you're awesome. He might well go and do that, but he's not doing it in his walk year. He's not doing it in his contract year, so I don't think the money's going to be there.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I could definitely see like a Dwight Gooden no-hitter coming out of Matt Harvey and pinstripes.
Of course.
For sure. But like, I don't think he's going anywhere because, again, who's going to want to take on a guy who stinks and is also an asshole and a partier? You don't want to poison the locker room or do whatever. And then the other side of it is like this whole Degrom news would have hurt a lot, or like we would have been straight panic if we had Matt Harvey, the fucking young Matt Harvey in the bullpen, but now, or in the rotation, but now we have dickhead fucking shitty Matt Harvey in the bullpen, and he's worthless to us.
Right. I mean, and ordinarily I'd hope that, Yo is still producing, and in a weird way, it's kind of like feast or famine, and like, but that's like it. There's nothing else right now that's like, tuning in tonight. It's not like I can't wait to watch. What are you looking forward to in the Mets tonight? It's like
I'm looking forward to the season not being over. Honestly, that's the guy.
No, I hear you. I'm definitely with you on that. But that's where it's like we're all celebrating that. But if you really want to like look behind the curtain, it's like I can't wait to watch Conforto bat tonight.
Yeah,
I can't wait to watch.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's the ass man.
I believe in him. I'm riding this hot streak as long as I can. And dude, Cabrera was good for like that. With like the Indians when he was young. He had like that couple seasons. So like, I'm not saying he's gonna keep this up all year. That'd be stupid to say.
No, he's batting he's batting like 340, right? It's like something crazy. He's been awesome. The only reason I keep harping on him is because it's unfair to expect Asdrubal Cabrera to be this guy. If he continues to do it, like, of course, awesome. Mm-hmm. But, like, when you tell me we're going to be okay and I say why, it's like, well, Asdrubal's batting 330. Well, chances are that's not going to continue. If it does, fucking amazing. God bless him. It's just not really, he was what was supposed to be like a backup and a utility infielder, and then Wright goes down and Neil Walker moves on, and all of a sudden he's like, your starter, and it's like, it's working right now, but is it going to work over the next 5 months? Can you rely on these guys for this long? Like we said, when these guys go into slumps and whatnot, there's just no consistent presence that you're like, this guy will carry us. Even Yo right now is feast or famine. It's just a scary, scary time, man, as always.
But it could be a lot.
It could be a lot scarier.
It could be a lot scarier. It could just be over. I mean, I said, give me past Cinco de Mayo. Give me Memorial Day. Cinco de Mayo isn't even here yet. Like, I'm not ready to fucking just go from all in to dead.
Let me have Howie on the radio while I barbecue in a game that's interesting, that like actually has something on the line. Let me get to that part of the summer before I have to console.
Those Sunday PIX games too.
Yeah,
it's like, it's nice and warm out and you're getting excited and you just have the TV on nice and loud. Like, that's the kind of shit that I just that's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for too much, I think.
It really is not a lot. It's really not. We're not asking for too much, Mickey. We're not asking for too much, Sandy. And like, hey, and guess what? Like, you're allowed to make moves. Like, go figure something out. You know, you have injuries to your catcher. You have a starter go down in the sense that he's now been sent to the bullpen. You have some shaky, arms at the top right now. Like, you have resources. And there's not much chips in the farm to move, but like, I don't know, get creative. Try to figure something out here. Like, I just don't know if we have the horses to get to the finish line right now. So hold on to your butts as always. Right?
And and let's just say this too. Let's just put it out there now. We love you, Jacob Degrom. We love you. He's the best missed pitcher I've ever seen in my life.
I love him.
Best.
I mean, he's the most underrated pitcher of like a generation, probably, when you break it all down. You really look at his numbers. He's quiet. He's consistent. He's awesome. He's no problem. Balls. Remember that game 5 against the Dodgers where he had nothing in the tank and he somehow just made his way through every inning? I was screaming at Terry to take him out every single inning and he didn't. He got through like 6 innings somehow. I mean, that's the kind of shit that's what we need, and there's only one guy doing it. So we love you, Jake.
The anti-Harvey.
He's the anti-Harvey. He really is. There's the yin and the yang. So please stay healthy, and let's go Mets.
And let's book this therapy couch for Tuesday morning just in case.